There's been widespread outrage over the Pune road rage incident. Now, while much of the anger has been directed at the juvenile offender, his builder father, the doctors who changed the blood sample, etc., and rightfully so, you would argue, one person whose role is crucial but who's gone under the radar, who's slipped under the radar, happens to be NCP MLA Sunil Tingre. Now, he was there at the police station right after the accident happened. There were reportedly 45 missed calls between Tingre and Vishal Agarwal, who's the father of the accused, right after the accident happened. There is also reports that Tingre was picked up by Vishal Agarwal and both of them went to the police station, and there is video footage of Mr. Tingre at the police station. The question that begs to be asked is, what is a ruling party MLA doing directly involving himself in this case? That is the big question we're asking tonight. And why is it that Mr. Tingre...
एमएलए के साथ में इनके क्या संबंध है कि इनको प्रमोशन दो, इनके प्रोटेक्शन वो दे दे? ये सब चीजों की इंक्वायरी, ये जुडिशरी इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए, तभी सबके सामने आएगा.
All right, so did this NCP MLA shield or try to shield the juvenile offender and his family? Let's take you through what is the nexus allegedly that has emerged in this Pune crash case. Here's what top Pune police sources have told CNN News18 about the alleged role of the NCP MLA in question. On the 19th of May, which is the night of the accident, the juvenile accused's father, Vishal Agarwal, reportedly frantically called this NCP MLA. Reportedly, there were 45 missed calls from Vishal Agarwal's phone to Sunil Tingre's phone. Now, the 45 missed calls, the duration or the time gap in those missed calls was between 2:30 a.m., that's about an hour or so after this accident happened, till 3:45 a.m. That's on the night of the 19th of May, which is the night of this accident. All the calls went unanswered. The teenager's father then reaches Sunil Tingre's residence at 3:45 in the morning. Vishal Agarwal picks up Sunil Tingre from his residence, and then both Sunil Tingre and Vishal Agarwal reach the Yerwada police station. This is roughly around 3:45 in the morning. And the charge, and we've seen, photographs and video of this, the charge was that at that time at the police station, there was pizzas and burgers that were specially ordered for the juvenile offender. There were pictures of the MLA sitting while this juvenile accused was eating food inside the police station. Now, while the allegation is that political power was applied on the Pune police to go soft on the juvenile accused, that's not just the link between Sunil Tingre and this case. There are links now of Dr. Tavde. Remember, Dr. Tavde was one of the two doctors of the Sassoon General Hospital who's now in custody for allegedly changing the blood sample. The police have now revealed that the blood sample was tampered with. There's now another dimension to this. Dr. Tavde claims that he received a call from Sunil Tingre on the night of the 19th of May, which was in connection with the medical checkup of the juvenile accused. Now we know that the first medical checkup did not show traces of alcohol in the blood of the juvenile accused. Dr. Tavde and the teenager's father, Vishal Agarwal, reportedly spoke 14 times on the night after the accident happened. 14 times. They are unconnected to each other. They are unrelated to each other. But after the accident, Vishal Agarwal, the father of the accused, and this doctor spoke 14 times. Was Sunil Tingre the via media, the conduit for both of them? Because he was the person who knew both. He knew both Vishal Agarwal and he knew Dr. Tavde. The Pune police are suspecting that calls were made to Dr. Tavde to change the blood sample. The Pune police have also managed to recover 3 lakh rupees in cash, which was reportedly used to change the blood sample. Now, the links apparently go back a few years. Dr. Tavde was removed from the Ruby Hall clinic back in 2002. At that time, his name had surfaced in connection with a kidney racket case. Sunil Tingre, the NCP MLA in question, then subsequently recommended Dr. Tavde for the post of superintendent at the SGH, the Sassoon General Hospital, in December of 2023. Tingre said that he knew Dr. Tavde personally and he cited Dr. Taure's work during COVID to make that recommendation. After his appointment, after December of 2023, Dr. Taure was reprimanded back in April of this year over a rat bite death that happened in the ICU of the Sassoon General Hospital. The big question then remains, with such a track record, how was he able to hold such a senior position, that of superintendent in this government general hospital? Was he the perfect person to help subvert this case? And what is the role of Sunil Tingre? Because he seems to be the one that is connecting the juvenile accused, his father, and of course Dr. Taure, who's now under custody for allegedly changing the blood sample. And yet, no one seems to be interested in questioning Sunil Tingre. Neither the Pune police have questioned him so far, nor as the SIT, which has been constituted by the Maharashtra government, have they called Sunil Tingre for questioning. So, who is this man and why does his role assume importance in this case? Dr. Shama Mohammed is a national spokesperson of the Congress Party. Clyde Trasto is national spokesperson of the NCP. Sharad Pawar faction. Avnish Adik is national spokesperson of the NCP Ajit Pawar faction. Ratan Sharda is author and political analyst. Let me start with you, Mr. Avinash Adik, because the focus seems to be on this gentleman, Mr. Sunil Tingre, who is an MLA from your party. What was his role? Why was he there at the police station? Why were there 45 missed calls between him, between his phone number and that of Vishal Agarwal, who's the father of the accused, who's now in custody? And why were there reportedly phone calls between Mr. Tingre and the doctor, who's now been removed as the superintendent there at the Sassoon General Hospital? What is the role of Mr. Tingre?
Good evening, Mr. Jacob, and good evening to all the panelists. I have no clue where you have this information coming from regarding the number of calls that were made by Mr. Tingre or whosoever to the other persons involved in this tragic episode. All I can tell you is that the investigation is under process, is under progress. Just as you are expecting it to go to a logical conclusion, that all the guilty be punished, everyone who was involved in any sort of wrongdoing be pulled up, I and my party too are looking for that result. So at the moment, I really don't have any other information besides the fact that we are all hoping for a fast closure, for a complete investigation, for a total transparency to be there. And at some point, we need to have a serious relook at all the laws that exist with regards to
Mr. Adik, since you asked where this information is coming from, this 45 missed calls between Sunil Tingre and Vishal Agarwal, the father of the accused, it's coming from the Pune police, sir.
That's very good. I mean, I'm glad that you have this information at your behest. I didn't have it. I got a call from the studio to join in the debate, so I could not access that information. But having said that, we are all looking forward to a very transparent investigation to be completed.
No, so that just leaves one question to be answered, which is that shouldn't then Mr. Tingre come out and say that, look, this is my call detail records. I was nowhere near Vishal Agarwal or anyone who's connected with this case. I was at home sleeping from 2:45 to 3:45 in the morning.
Ongoing investigation. I'm sure the investigating authorities, when they feel it is necessary for them to summon him or anybody else, they will do so.
Okay.
And all the facts will come before all of us.
So, Dr. Shama Mohammed, the contention being that it's an investigation, let it continue, and after all, what can one MLA do to change the course of this investigation? Because after all, the facts are now out for everyone to see, and the whole nation is outraged that, look, a juvenile who had no business to be behind the wheel, and that too drunk behind the wheel, no one can save him. Forget about an MLA.
Okay, hi Zaka. A couple of points, just give me some time also. First and foremost, let's understand that this case would have been under the carpet if not for the media, if not for the opposition political party members, if not for the civil society. There was an outrage and that's how it's come out. The biggest culprit in this is the Pune police. I've lived there and I know what happens in Pune. The Pune police, the traffic police, this car has been on the road for 6 months without a number plate. Let's understand that. When the crash happened, when he killed these two people, he was caught by bystanders, beaten and given to the Pune police. Pune police can see somebody who's very drunk. They do immediately a breath analysis, which they did not. They have to take him immediately to a doctor to take his blood level. They did not. The Pune police did nothing other than, and they also know a 17-year-old cannot drive without the license. So it's an open and shut case itself over there. The biggest culprit is the Pune police commissioner should resign. The traffic police in charge should be arrested because they are the culprits here. The second biggest culprit is the Juvenile Justice Board. Now the Juvenile Justice Board gets the case, and what do? You write an essay, and in 15 hours they give him bail. That itself is wrong. The third comes in the MLA, who instead of protecting who should protect the people who have died or be with them rather than with the person who has done it, the culprit. That is what has happened over here. He is on the side of the culprit. What is the member of legislative assembly? He's supposed to take care of a city, whatever things happen, he's supposed to be with the victim. But here he is with the culprit. Number 4 are the parents. The parents have completely lost control of this child. They've given him a car who's a 17-year-old. There's no license. There's no number plate, and of course he's drinking. And finally, the hotel owners or managers, more than the owners, I would not blame the owners, but I would blame the people who are managing. How was he able to get into a bar or a hotel when you are under 17? You cannot drink. Why did they not check? You always ask for an Aadhaar card ID when we have to, everybody has to do that. The ID is asked when they see the child is young.
Okay.
So this is the order. The biggest culprit is the Pune police.
So let me
they
ask
need to be,
Ratan
if they had a
Sharda,
spine,
no matter,
the child would be caught and put behind.
No matter what personal relationship two people have, an MLA and in this case a builder, if a builder is calling at 2:30 a.m. to 3:45 a.m., 45 missed calls, and then those calls go unanswered, so this man lands up at the MLA's residence, then the MLA and the father of the accused land up at the Yerwada police station. Surely, this is some kind of a relationship where, you can't just walk into any MLA's residence, knock on the door and, he or she is not going to come for you or me, Ratan Sharda. But surely there's some connection with this builder father of the accused that the MLA was willing to come with him to the police station at 3:45 in the morning.
Zaka, if I have to ask you, tell me something new. You would seem that I am questioning you. Point is, when do politicians and bureaucrats and police don't have their all ancestral relationships? Which party, which government, which state can deny it? For me, it's not a political debate. For me, it's a debate as a harried citizen that there is one set of law for Mango people, there is another set of law for people with connections. So those people who stay in the Swargalo, they have all the doors always open. For example, it is just not a question of Pune. Let us understand. There was fire in the hospital in Delhi.
Yeah.
7 children died.
Yeah, correct.
They had 3 more hospitals like that. They were over capacity, 5-bed license. How can a nursing home have only 5-bed license? They had 12 beds there. It is not. The license is not there. Where are the licensed people? Where are the hospital, health department people? Where is the NDMC?
Ratan Sharda, there was fire in Gujarat. Why about fire in Gujarat also?
उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं इसकी बात कर रहा हूँ.
28 people died there. 28 people died in
सोच ही नहीं सकती. क्षमा जी, आप पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में सोच ही नहीं सकती. मैं पूरा
हुआ ही नहीं है. गुजरात के बारे में बोल रहे हैं. वो भी बोल दीजिए ना. 28 लोग
One at a time, Dr. Shama.
गुजरात के बारे में बात करो.
Dr. Shama ji, Dr. Shama ji, one at a time. Yeah, let him finish.
I said it's not politics. I'm coming to that. So you have, if you put a bag of cement in front of the house, Zakat, the NDMC guy will be in front of your home, in BMC in front of my house, and you had a whole hoarding in Mumbai coming up, and which was totally illegal. There was no action. All you do is suspend the guy. When you suspend the police, you suspend the person, you get half the salary. You had fire in the mall, and it was there for a long time. People visited the mall. There was sealed fire equipment there. What is the action? You suspend the person. The fire chap says, मुझे पता ही नहीं था वहां पर क्या बना हुआ है. अरे भैया, राजकोट जैसे छोटे शहर के अंदर इतना बड़ा मॉल बना, thousands of people come there, you're not aware of it. So what are these? All these government servants, they know they will get is suspension. So let it be MLA, they will hear him. Let there be doctor, they'll hear to them, because they know ultimately this ring of people, whichever state, whichever government, whichever party. Today there are 2 NCPs. They are all in Pune. They were all one. Now because they are split, they are speaking against each other. But they were in Pune. We know what happens in Pune. Everybody know what happens in Pune. So this problem of not taking strong action against the culprits That is what happens. Many of this, all these examples I gave are just 1 week old. I could give a litany of those complaints.
Will the Pune MLA...
So there is no use blaming one. Where is Tingre? Has Tingre been questioned? That is a basic question.
No, he's not been questioned. No, everybody else has been questioned. People have been arrested also. The role of everyone else has come out. The role of the doctors has come out. The role of the father has come out.
By somebody.
But Mr. Tingre has not been called for questioning at all. Why?
These elected people are supposed to be lawmakers or lawbreakers, whichever party that person may be. Shama may have some preference. I have no preferences.
No, so Clyde Trasto, number one, shouldn't Mr. Tingre come out and say, what is the connection between him and Vishal Agarwal? You and I may be friends, but friends don't call each other 45 times between 2:30 a.m. and 3:45 a.m.
Absolutely not, Raka. Absolutely not, Raka. I completely agree with you. The most important person, and I call it important because this is a puzzle that is happening in the last couple of days, and the important person to actually open up this puzzle is Mr. Sunil Tingre. The fact of the matter is, a lot of spokespersons from the NCP Ajit Pawar faction have said, no, you cannot blame him solely, and he's not the one who's actually done this or the other. But the person who knows whether he has done this or not is Mr. Tingre. And where is he hiding? Why doesn't he come out and actually speak to the whole world and say, listen, all these allegations on me are true, false, whatever, he has to come out and say it in the open. But why is he hiding? That raises a suspicion that there is something amiss, something that he cannot see clearly. And there are a lot of things that come to light when, the fact of the matter that the recommendation of Tingre was done by Mr. Tingre, I mean, as early or as late as whatever you want to call it, as December 2023, there's a recommendation given by him. Mr. Hassan Mushrif has also, gone ahead and cleared this recommendation, and he's been reinstated in that hospital there. So these all connections that are coming to light, Mr. Tingre should answer this question. And is there someone above him who's actually trying to put a complete, blanket on all this so that it doesn't come out that there are other people who have made this calls to save this teen who has killed 2 innocent people? So all these things have to come out in the open, and my request, I have known Mr. Ajit Pawar closely, and I know he's a man of action. He's the one who will not tolerate all these things. Okay, so I think it's the role of Mr. Ajit Pawar to actually pick up the phone and tell Sunil Tingre, listen, you need to go out there and clear your stance. If you are wrong, you have to accept it. If you're thinking that these allegations are done on me, go out and clear it. And the fact is that if the Pune police themselves are saying that 45 calls were made, Mr. Tingre was there in the Yerwada police station, then why aren't they calling him? They have all the right to call him and question him. He should be made to sit in the police station in front of the police and questions to be asked to him. Why are they not calling him? Every single person has been called and questioned. Why not? Why is they hiding him?
It was shocking for viewers, for ordinary citizens across this country when news came a couple of days ago that 2 doctors, one superintendent and one his assistant, were arrested by the Pune police because they swapped the blood sample. Now, the blood sample that was sent for the forensic initially was not even that of the juvenile accused, because had they sent the original blood sample, they would have found that he was under the influence of alcohol, and that the judge would have known when he was first presented in court. Now, my point is that you look at the entire sequence of events, these missed calls that happened in the night after the accident, the fact that there are now pictures of Mr. Tingre at the police station, and now Dr. Tingre, who's been arrested for changing the blood sample, he has revealed that there were 14 calls that Vishal Agarwal made to Dr. Tingre. There's no connection between the two. Till the night of the accident, there is no connection between Dr. Tingre and Vishal Agarwal, the father of the accused, and yet there were 14 calls that were made that night. Who is the point of connection? Who is the common source of connection between the two of them? It is Sunil Tingre. Sunil Tingre, on his recommendation letter, Dr. Tingre was brought back as superintendent of the Sassoon General Hospital. Now, isn't this a person of interest? Should this person not be questioned? He is the only link between the father of the accused and the doctor who has been arrested for changing the blood sample. The doctor got his job because of the recommendation letter by this MLA, and the Pune police are not questioning him. Is this person not a person of interest? Should he not be asked to come for questioning?
I'm sure he's a person of interest, and I'm sure he will be tall. And as rightly suggested here, Ajit Dada is a man of action. And thank you, Clyde, for acknowledging that. Ajit Dada will ensure, as and when the authorities want to summon Mr. Tingre will present himself before them. He'll completely participate in the investigation. He'll cooperate in every manner which is required of him. As far as Mr. Ratan Shardaji is concerned, he raised a very important query. He called all politicians guilty of malpractices. But let's not forget, we are in the middle of a national election here. Democracy is all about a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And you know how many people have come out to vote. So it's something which civil society and the general voters need to introspect about. Coming back to this very unfortunate episode.
Zaka, that's fine.
Like
So we are to blame now.
No, I'm not
Zaka,
blaming you.
we are to blame. That's what he's saying.
We're not blaming you, Mr.
You're
Sharda.
saying, no, you're saying people don't vote. You said that people are responsible. You are saying it's our duty to choose the right people. The voters chose your MLA, no? And Mr. Hardik goes another channel half an hour back, says मैं तो पता ही नहीं केस क्या है. You are going to every channel for the same case. मुझे कोई पता ही नहीं आप बोल रहे हो.
About the case, so I'm giving you a reply.
Zaka.
Would you like?
Don't blame people.
Mr. Adik,
Don't blame people. I have no problem.
Yeah, the
problem
is to say that, oh, people have voted Mr. Tingre, therefore, Mr. Tingre's role is above board.
I have not said
I don't think that is fair on the people of this country. The people of the country are watching.
Exactly.
They are watching what you're saying.
Yes.
So my request is that you please be a little more careful with what you're saying.
I am just telling you that Mr.
Zaka.
Tingre will put himself before the investigating authorities as and when he is summoned. At the moment,
but can you please can you please tell me, sir, this incident
He
happened on the
can't
19th. Today is the 29th. It's been 10 days. When will he be asked to come for questioning?
I really would not know. That is a
No,
question you need to
Zaka.
put to the investigating authorities, the Pune police, or whoever is heading the investigation.
So everybody else's role is under the scanner. That of the Juvenile Justice Board who gave him bail saying write an essay, he's under the scanner. The bar managers who let him in and let a minor drink, their role is under the scanner. The father who gave the wheels of his car, sports car, to a minor driver, he's under the scanner. The grandfather is also under arrest. The doctors who changed the sample, they're also
Zaka.
under arrest. But the one person who connects all of these other characters is out at large.
Not complete. The investigation is not closed. It's an ongoing
Zaka.
investigation. As and when
So you'll
the
take your
investigating
God's
authorities
own years.
want to summon Mr. Tingre,
You can take any number of
I'm sure
years before you forget
he'll
it.
present himself before them, and he will
Till
be
the next
fully
election.
Zaka.
Clyde?
Can I please
Till
come
next
in?
election is free.
Clyde?
Yeah, please, Zaka. Ratan bhai, I need to make a point. Zaka, very, very important. There's one person we need to also talk about here is the Home Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. After this thing happened, he was silent for a day or two. When the people kind of raised this whole issue, the media raised this issue, he went and took a press conference and, he spoke very high like, we are going to take an investigation, we are going to do this, that. But the fact is, as a Home Minister today, has he even questioned that why Mr. Tingre has not been called? I mean, he's the Home Minister. He can make a statement, no? He can tell the police that why not calling Mr. Tingre if so many questions are being raised. If they are expecting Mr. Ajit Pawar, if I'm expecting Mr. Ajit Pawar to make a call to Tingre and clear himself, I'm also expecting Mr. Devendra Fadnavis to talk to the Pune police and tell them why not calling Mr. Tingre.
Will he
for all
talk
this
it
questioning.
publicly?
He's the one who's
Will
the
he
person
speak
of
to
interest.
you?
He should
I
be
come in?
called and questioned.
Okay.
Will he speak to you or he'll speak to police?
Sorry?
No.
He
no.
will go
come
to
in?
public to make his
Zaka?
statement.
One second.
No,
one
no,
second.
no.
I also
Ratan bhai, listen to what I'm saying.
Don't try to
Listen to what I'm saying, Ratan
pass
bhai.
off. Don't
No.
try to pass off the responsibility.
I also
Okay.
want to
He took action immediately.
one second. I also want to bring to light, the connection between Dr. Tavade and Mr. Sunil Tingre, the MLA. Now, Dr. Tavade, there was an incident that happened in 2022. He was in a different hospital at that time, a hospital called Ruby Hall Clinic. There was some case which involved a kidney racket, and Dr. Tavade was removed from that hospital. He lost his job from that hospital because of his alleged role in this kidney racket. Then in 2023, Sunil Tingre, who is the MLA, reportedly wrote a recommendation letter. That recommendation letter is also floating on social media. This recommendation letter, basis which Dr. Tavade was appointed as superintendent of the Sassoon General Hospital. This happens about 6 months ago in December 2023. In that letter, Mr. Tingre, the MLA, vouches for Dr. Tavade and his work. He says he knows him personally and he had done incredible work during COVID. Therefore, I am recommending that he be appointed as superintendent of the SGH hospital, the Sassoon General Hospital. Dr. Tavade then, after getting appointed, was also reprimanded. Less than 6 months after he got the job, the new job, was also reprimanded in April of 2024 because again there was a case involving a death of a patient because of a rat bite. This is a government hospital and the patient's relatives at that time created a huge shindig about it. And Dr. Tavade was officially pulled up as the superintendent of that hospital. He was pulled up for his negligence, his team's negligence in the ICU of the Sassoon General Hospital. Now, this is the gentleman who is now under arrest for changing blood samples. This man should have never been anywhere close to a hospital. He has no business being a doctor. There are multiple cases against him that have come to light from time to time, but yet he manages to keep a job. And this is on the back of a recommendation letter by an MLA who's now gone incognito. So, Dr. Shama Mohammed, it comes back to that whole point. I think Ratan Sharda made that point. If you are rich, famous, connected in this country, you don't have to follow IPC or CRPC. You have a different law in this country.
I think before Mr. Ratan Sharda said, my leader Rahul Gandhi has said it out very loudly. The truck drivers and all the others or an auto rickshaw driver go to prison, whereas these rich kids always go out. But Zaka, you have mentioned everybody. I agree, the MLA has to be called, he has to be questioned, and I believe that the BJP government was lax. They only woke up when there was a public outcry, media outcry. But one thing you failed to say today is, like for example, in the Morbi bridge, when it collapsed, the corporators were let loose, the contractor was imprisoned and he is right now on bail. So 130 people died. Who is accountable for their death? Similarly here, it is the Pune police. Why are you not getting, they have to be arrested. That car was on the road without a number plate for 6 months. They got the boy immediately. They should have just done a blood test. He would be behind bars right now. See, all these doctors, everybody else comes into play later. If the police did their work or government servants did their work, there would be nothing. Where is the police's point?
No,
why are you not saying
I question
the Pune
police commissioner.
The Pune police have to be arrested. They can't be suspended. They should be arrested. Why are they not behind bars? You put the doctor behind bars, put the police behind bars. They get away.
Ma'am, for your information, if you can just listen to me for 30 seconds, you will understand what I'm trying to say. On the very first day that this case came to light, I sat the Pune Police Commissioner down, Mr. Amitesh Kumar, and I asked him point blank, the biggest crime that the Pune Police is alleged to have done is they did not add the most heinous section, which is section 304, culpable homicide. When this boy was presented, when this boy was first presented before the Juvenile Justice Board, the first charge was that of rash and negligent driving. I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that this is just a case of rash and negligent driving. This was a drunk driver, an underage driver, an overspeeding driver, and a driver who showed zero remorse after the incident. So the Pune police had no business not including 304 in the first FIR.
And they did not do a breathalyzer test immediately. They didn't send his blood to the doctors to test immediately. They are the biggest culprits. Just like in Delhi, the hospital fire, or in Rajkot, everywhere, the municipal corporators get away. They just get a suspension. They have to be behind bars. They have to be given life imprisonment.
Again, I want to expand this to the other incidents that have also happened, whether it's the Ghatkopar hoarding that fell down and killed 15 people, whether it is the 7 babies who died in a fire in a hospital in Delhi which had no license to run as a hospital, and then you have the incident that happened in Rajkot, a gaming parlor in a residential area which had no fire exits and only one point for both entry and exit, and over 1,000 people were there on a weekend. How are these establishments allowed to function?
Who's giving these permissions?
Clyde, yes. Who?
Zaka, is it for me, Zaka? Who's supposed to answer? Zaka.
Yeah, Clyde. Clyde, that was to you because we can get stuck in the granular details of the Pune case, but this is not just about the Pune case.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with you, Zaka. See, as spokespersons, we'll keep fighting each other. As politicians, we'll keep fighting with each other. At the end of the day, we are also human beings, and there are innocent lives lost. My point is very simple. Whoever they may be, whichever leader, whichever party, whatever, if somebody has been a part of a license system or helped somebody doing something wrong, they should be pulled up by the law. Blanket. Period. They should be punished. Whoever they may be, however big they may be, if they have done something wrong, I may sound like I'm talking too big. Yes, so be it. Whoever, innocent life, 2 young people have lost their lives right now in Pune. Their families are devastated. We need to have a heart. We need to have a heart. And whoever they may be, everybody has to be punished if they've done something wrong.
For the babies who died in Delhi, for the kids who died in the gaming zone in Rajkot, for the Ghatkopar hoarding that was illegal and 15 people died. Who is going to be held accountable? We just, media will cry about this for 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, and then the media will move on to the next story.
Zakat, thanks for bringing home the point which I
Municipal
started the entire
corporators should
argument
be
with.
hanged.
I started, you remember Jessica Lal? Nobody murdered her. Starting from that point, my opening remark in the entire case was that all the incidents that I recounted, which again recounted, I said the people responsible simply are suspended. They are never arrested. They are never charged. So then ultimately क्या होगा? आधी पगार मिलेगी, 5 साल बैठेंगे, ट्रांसफर हो जाएंगे, ऐश करेंगे. So they can also take bribe because ultimately nothing will happen.
Exactly.
We will keep on targeting politicians, we'll target this or that. Politicians just follow via media. But the laws are such, the government servants who actually are supposed to implement the law don't implement the law, and they will just face inquiry. Nothing will happen unless that changes. We can keep on shouting at each other or shouting at God know whom, and Shamma will disturb me saying that BJP Congress. It's not BJP Congress. Laws are such that we are following colonial practices that
BJP
government servant
Congress
cannot go wrong. No government servant, no police can go wrong. How many policemen, how many bureaucrats, how many babas gone to jail?
I am completely out of time. Thank you very much to all our guests. I really have to wrap up because I'm completely out of time.